Scenario: microaggression fatigue. Background: David is a Black IT engineer at a mid-sized tech company. He's been with the company for 3 years and has consistently demonstrated technical expertise and leadership in his role. Despite his performance, he's growing increasingly frustrated by the microaggressions he faces from his colleagues and managers. The seemingly small, everyday comments and actions from coworkers have started to take a toll on his emotional and mental well-being. Scenario: David often hears phrases like, "You're so articulate for someone from your background," or "I didn't expect someone like you to be in IT." While these comments may seem harmless to others, they subtly imply that David's race and background make him an unlikely candidate for success in the field. Over time, these microaggressions build up, leaving David feeling exhausted, undervalued, and alienated from his peers. At a recent team meeting, David presented a solution for a long-standing technical issue. Instead of receiving credit for his idea, the conversation was quickly shifted, and a non-Black colleague took the spotlight for repeating a similar concept. This incident, along with the ongoing microaggressions, leads David to question whether he should continue at the company. He feels drained from constantly having to navigate these subtle forms of racism, which have accumulated into microaggression fatigue. Challenges faced. 1. Emotional exhaustion. The repeated microaggressions, though small individually, have built up over time, making David feel constantly on edge and mentally drained. 2. Lack of understanding. David's colleagues seem oblivious to the impact of their words and actions. When he tries to explain the issue, he is met with comments like, "I didn't mean it that way," or "You're being too sensitive." 3. No formal support system. Although the company has diversity and inclusion programs in place, they don't specifically address microaggressions or provide employees with adequate tools to combat them. David feels isolated in dealing with these issues. 4. Impact on career growth. Because of the microaggressions and his colleagues' dismissive attitudes, David feels less inclined to take initiative or participate actively, fearing his contributions will not be valued or recognized. How David manages the situation. 1. Seeking support. David begins attending meetings of the company's Black Employee Resource Group, ERG, where he finds others who have had similar experiences. Sharing his challenges with peers helps validate his feelings and reduces his sense of isolation. He starts using the ERG as a platform to raise awareness about the impact of microaggressions. 2. Open conversations. Rather than silently enduring microaggressions, David decides to address them head-on. During one-on-one conversations with coworkers, he calmly explains how certain comments, like "You're so articulate," can be hurtful because they imply surprise at his abilities based on his race. These discussions, though uncomfortable at first, help some of his colleagues better understand the weight of their words. 3. Advocating for change. David approaches the Human Resources Department to advocate for better microaggression training. He emphasizes that diversity and inclusion programs need to go beyond surface-level diversity and tackle the more insidious forms of bias that manifest as microaggressions. HR agrees to develop workshops on unconscious bias and microaggressions with input from the ERG. 4. Self-care and boundary setting. Recognizing the toll microaggressions are taking on his mental health, David begins setting boundaries to protect his well-being. He takes regular breaks when he feels overwhelmed and engages in activities outside of work that help him recharge. He also seeks counseling to help manage the emotional strain. Outcome. By addressing microaggressions directly and advocating for systemic change within the company, David begins to feel more empowered. The company rolls out a new set of training programs that focus on microaggressions and unconscious bias, fostering a more inclusive environment. While the microaggressions don't disappear overnight, the open conversations David has sparked start shifting the company culture, and his efforts are recognized by both his peers and leadership. Key takeaways. Address microaggressions head-on. Having open, honest conversations with coworkers can help educate and reduce the occurrence of microaggressions. Leverage employee resource groups can provide a support system and a platform for advocating for change. Self-care is essential. Managing microaggression fatigue requires setting boundaries and engaging in self-care to protect emotional well-being. Advocate for change. Pushing for formal training on microaggressions can help create a more inclusive workplace and ensure that these issues are addressed at the organizational level. This scenario illustrates the impact of microaggression fatigue and offers a roadmap for addressing this challenge in the workplace. Thank you for following along with David's journey in navigating the complexities of microaggressions in the workplace. Remember, as you encounter your own challenges, take a proactive approach, whether it's through addressing the issue head-on, seeking support, or pushing for systemic changes in your work environment. Here at Black Tech Green Book, we are committed to helping you not just survive, but thrive in corporate spaces where diversity and inclusion are crucial. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow us for more valuable insights and real-world scenarios that empower you to take control of your career path. Together, we can create a workplace where everyone feels respected and valued. See you in the next video.